Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are here with another mukbang. Let's get started. As you can see, I have quite a bit of food here. We have 3 lovely donuts from Pick n Pay. That's a South African hypermarket branch. I got 1 chocolate, 1 vanilla with chocolate sprinkles, and 1 vanilla with rainbow sprinkles. For drink, I have this massive 100% passion power fruit juice blend by Liquid Fruits again. I love juice, so. And I have 5 Russian cheese hot dogs and some onions, which I'm going to be putting on top. So yeah, and then I've also decorated my table a little bit. This is my glass, by the way. Isn't he so cute? We should give him a name.
How cute.
Let's get started. So I'm gonna start with this. Today I actually have some horror stories. I think I'm just gonna do 2. These are horror stories that I experienced actually, so I don't know how true they are. You can think they're true. I'm pretty sure they were true, but they might have also been dreams, so we're still gonna unpack that throughout the episode. Yeah, let's get started. First bite, guys. That tastes so good. I got cheese Russians. We call them Russians here in South Africa. It's basically just a sausage with cheese inside and golden onions with butters. I put some butter. I buttered the roll. It's hard to open. There you go. ASMR. This is very good, guys. It's like a mixture of different fruits. This one I think is orange and passion fruits. If you can see on the bottle, there is oranges and passion fruits, and it tastes very fruity. Very delicious though. Let me start with my own experience. I was about 5 years old when this happened. And basically, so it was about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning at night. It was very dark outside and it was storming, and I was asleep on, so basically my parents' house, think of it as a cube. So this is the cube. It was split off. The lounge is by the front. There's a kitchen separated by a wall. There's a long corridor, and then was my and my brother's bedroom. There was a back room, and then next to my brother's bedroom was my parents' bedroom. So I was around 7 years old, and my brother is 4 years younger than me. That would make him 3 years old. So he was about 3 years old. And at this point he was walking, he was saying his first words. He struggled with speaking for a very long time though. But anyways, so he had a nightmare and he went into my parents' room to go sleep over there. I didn't realize until I woke up around 12 o'clock in the night, 1 o'clock in the morning. When I realized he was gone and it was thundering, I woke up from a nightmare obviously, so I was very scared. Sorry, I made a mess. These stupid chopsticks, I still can't use them. I'm just gonna hide. Look how good this looks, by the way. Where was I? Oh, so he went into my parents' room to go sleep, and I had woken up and I was scared, and it was raining and thundering. So I was like, this is Fred, by the way. So it was raining and thundering, and I was scared. I was like, I need to go sleep next door with my parents, because that's what you do when you're a kid. You go sleep with your parents when you wake up from nightmare. So sweet. It's so good. I'm missing. Oh, that smells very fruity. I keep using the same word, sorry. What other word could you even describe fruit with? It smells like fruit. I like to give eye contact when I'm drinking. Spit it down. So yeah, where was I again? So basically, I woke up and I got out of my bed. I opened the door. It was pitch black because none of the lights were on. So it's dark in the corridor, and it's a long corridor. So I turn left to go into my parents' room. So I leave my room, turn left. As I'm walking, I look into the back room, and I can see, so when you're walking, the back room is straight. So I see my brother playing with toys on the floor. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning. And he's playing with like these little toy blocks. We had these toy blocks growing up. They were like very fat toy blocks, and he's busy building. He's busy. It's the cool chick. So he's busy building this like tower, in like a sort of tower, but it's like 2 in the morning. I'm like, why is he building a tower? This is so good. There's so much cheese in this. I'm so dumb. I completely forgot that I have to put onions on the... What do you call this thing?
Russian.
Oh yeah, on the Russian. No. On the hot dog. Oh, there goes my chopsticks. The onions add that little bit of sweetness, which is so delicious. He's playing with blocks in the back room, and I'm like, why is he playing with blocks? So I start to approach him, and then that is when the scariest thing that's ever happened to me happens. As I'm walking towards him, I glance to my left. This is your left, yeah. I glance to my left. Guess who's sleeping on the bed next to my parents? My little brother. So that's when my heart starts racing. I'm like, oh my gosh, if my brother's playing with blocks, if my brother's sleeping over there, who's busy playing with blocks in the back room? Sorry. So then I look straight in, and my brother is playing with blocks still. So I'm starting to panic. I start to tear up because now I'm terrified. Like I used to love horror movies. This is exactly how I think I'll die. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm dead now. It's over for me. I'm seeing a demon. So sorry. I start knocking on my parents' door. So the door's open and I'm knocking on it, trying to wake them up. I don't want to run because this my brother, but it's not actually my brother. This thing is looking at me, and I'm knocking on the door because I feel like if I run, it's just gonna jump at me. Like I was terrified, so I'm knocking on the door and I'm screaming. I'm start crying now, and I'm screaming. I'm like screaming for my dad to wake up. I'm screaming for my mom to wake up. I used to climb in their bed like all the time, so I was at an age where I'm not supposed to, technically. So they would get very upset with me when I try to get into the bedroom. So my dad hears me crying and screaming, and he's upset now because he's like, "Why are you screaming and crying at 1, 2 in the morning?" He doesn't switch the lights on. He's just lying there in bed, and he's like, "Go to your room, go sleep." And I'm crying. I'm like, "No, he's there. He's looking at me." I'm struggling to explain what I'm looking at, and my dad he doesn't understand what I'm going through because he doesn't know what I'm looking at. After that, as I'm looking at this thing, it drops one of the blocks.
The onions.
So yeah, he drops one of the blocks, and then as it falls, he looks up at me. Let me reenact this actually. So he drops the block. He looks up at me very slowly. The look that thing gave me, I was already crying, but I was hysterical. I didn't know what the hell I was looking at. So this thing looks up at me, and it lets out the widest smile I've ever seen in my entire life. Like ear to ear, that was bone chilling. So it looks at me and it smiles with this creepy wide smile. And I'm like, I get goosebumps. I start crying even more. I'm like, what's happening? I scream so loudly. It forces my dad to obviously get up and come see what I am looking at. As soon as he switches the lights on, there was nothing there. And I don't know. I could have been dreaming, but my dad still tells me that I came to his room one night crying and screaming that I saw something. But like that happened all the time. But that is the one that I will never forget. It was so scary. Does anyone else get like really thirsty when they eat? Do you, Marcy?
No. Yeah, but also depends on what I'm eating.
For some reason, whenever I eat, I always need to drink something.
Don't forget the onions.
Hmm?
Don't forget the onions. Because you keep on forgetting it, then I have to remind you.
This donut is just falling apart. Pour some more cool drink. Thank you. It's delicious onion. I'm already full and it's only been like, what, 2? That's the worst math ever. I had 5 to begin with. I've eaten 3.
And you say you ate 2. How does that make sense?
And then I'm already almost full.
And you're in grade 10 and you did that math.
Never thought I'd be out of breath from eating.
Okay, you say your other story.
Oh yeah, I have another story, sorry. So this happened a little later, like a few years ago, maybe 4 years ago. Not sure exactly because it's not something I'm going to keep track of. I'm almost 90% sure that this was just a dream. I'm not sure if any of you have heard of something called lucid dreaming. That is when you have a dream where you're in control of your dream. This was similar to that, but also very different. I think I was astral projecting. That is when your soul leaves your body when you're in your sleep, and then you're able to like fly around stuff, do all sorts of cool things, like go visit, I don't know, China or something. And so yeah, so I think I had actual projection, but I don't actually know. And basically, during this dream, or astral projection, or lucid dreaming, I had woken up from my sleep, inside of my sleep. I can't explain that, but I'd woken up, but I wasn't actually awake. I was still lying on my bed. Because when I stood up, I felt myself shift, like move, but I wasn't moving. And then I got up and I looked down, and I'm still laying on the bed. So beforehand, I had already watched some videos on astral projection and stuff like that. So I was like really excited. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm finally astral projecting, because I've been practicing how to. So I get up, I decide I'm gonna move around my house and just like do random stuff. So I left my bedroom, the door was closed, but I just went right through it, and I felt like walking normally. It was like there was nothing there, but I could see it was there. I could see the door. And we have a sort of attic in our house. It's not really an attic, but you're not supposed to go up there. But at that point of my life, I wanted to see what was up there, because I was curious. So I like sort of float my way up there, and as I'm shifting through the floorboards, so as I'm like sort of going up through the floorboards, I can see something in the corner of the roof. So in the attic, there is still a floor out there. You're just not supposed to step on it because it's dangerous. So in the far corner, I can see like something crouched over, facing its back towards me. There we are. Oopsie.
You probably could bird dropped it.
That is so good. Not again. Caught it this time. Last one.
Then it's not with donuts.
Oh, my pants is getting tight. Let me just. Oh, that's much better.
Yes, sir.
Don't know if I showed you guys all my cool little things. Look at this. It's so cute. It's like a little voodoo doll. Obviously, I'm not doing black magic or anything. So yeah, that's my little man. And then I also have this little clown guy. I don't have a name for him. I don't usually name my whatever these are called. And then I have the little mushroom from the last video. That's my friend got for me. And I absolutely love it. It's so cute. Should really get some tissues or something next time. So I can just like wipe my mouth. I was telling a scary story, oh my god. I like sort of float up through the ceiling into the roof and I see this thing like just there, like in the corner, crouched over, back facing towards me. And I'm like, what is that? Like when you astral project, there's not actually supposed to be anything else. I mean, your spirit has left your body. You're in the spiritish world. You're still on Earth. There's not supposed to be people unless they're awake and that you can see them but they can't see you. It's like one-way mirror. So I see this thing in the corner. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is that? At first I'm not scared, but then I hear the worst noises in my life. This thing is crouched over. It still gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. This thing is crouched over. And I just hear... Now, I don't know how correct that sounds to you guys, but just think like bones being crushed or chewed on. The snapping of the bones just going... I feel like this thing knew I was looking at it because as I saw this, I was preparing to leave and enter my body again, and I just did not want to think about that. As I'm pulling my head down, this thing sits up, it goes, its body makes these horrible, the similar noises to the bones being cracked. So its body movements is all distorted, and the way it sounded when it moved, it was all like... So it turns back at me like extremely quickly. I'm looking at it and it's looking at me. It did not have a face. I can't even describe what it looked like. It was like, imagine you made a person out of clay and then you took a hammer and you smashed it and its face was all smooshed in and only its facial features by its mouth were correct. Everything else was completely wrong. The head shape was bent and its body was crooked and distorted and broken, and it looks at me and I make eye contact with what I think was its eyes and moves towards me almost grudge style. It crawls at me slowly and then it gets faster until it's almost running at me at full speed but crawling, and it moves towards me. It's like a spider, like something going very quickly, and it's coming towards me and I panic, so I force myself through and I feel heavy and my body falls down and I cannot, like, at this point I was like floating around. I'm pretty sure because I was a ghost I could float or something, but I fall down and then I'm on the floor and I see this thing. So there's a hole in our ceiling, a square hole, and I could see it looking down at me, smiling like it was a joke, and it's starting to pull its hand down the hole, but its arm is like extending longer than it should to grab me and pull me with it. So I quickly get up as fast as I can and I run to the back room where I was sleeping at the time. And I shut the door behind me. I run to my body and I climb into myself. That is the weirdest statement I've ever said, but my body climbed into my body, or my soul. And I woke up and I was sweating and I was crying, and I'm not 100% sure if it was a nightmare or what it actually was, but it was absolutely terrifying. I'm thirsty. What is that noise? Yeah, I'm not finishing both these donuts. I'm sorry guys. I'm so full after this cheesy thing. I'll probably finish this one and give the other one to my brother. I mean, he is filming for me. Might as well give him some sort of payment. Let's try and make this the last bite. My poster fell. Sitting on such a tiny stool. Sorry. That's not real. This is so delicious. Oh. I just lost half of the chocolate, but it's still so delicious. I mean, look at this. Such big chunks just keep falling off. I don't know how. Yeah, I'm not eating the last one. Here, you can have it.
Eat.
I'm so done. And I'm so full too, oh my gosh. All done, guys. Let me just drink a little bit more. And yeah, that's it for my channel today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll come back next week again with another mukbang. Hope you guys enjoyed. That just covers 2 spooky, scary stories. Hopefully I'll come out with some better scary stories next week. Those were just my personal little spooks that happened to me. I just thought it'd be appropriate if I just included my own little story or stories in the video today, because seeing as my channel is going to be horror stories, I might as well include some of my own horror stories. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next week with another mukbang. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, obviously. Leave a comment. I'm going to do my best to reply to anyone who has any questions or who leaves any comments. If you have any suggestions, also leave a comment. I'm very open to suggestions. I am just starting. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye guys!